Hey everyone, Tad Hargrave here from Marketing for Hippies, and just walking home, feeling a little under the weather. Just recovering from a bit of a tiny flu. I want to talk about personal branding. This has come up a few times in my workshops and in conversation with friends and clients about what happens when you're the brand. And I've talked about this in another video, talking about selling yourself and why people get stuck with this and my opinions about it. So this is related, but this just came to me in a workshop. I don't know how historically true this is, but let's imagine it is this. This word brand, where does it come from? It comes from farming, ranching. And what is it? It's the metal implement that you heat in the fire and you press it into the flesh of one of the animals to market. Hello? So that the animal is branded. And when people look at that animal and they see that particular design, they know it's your cow or your sheep. So that's where this comes from. Just that the animal would be immediately recognizable. And of course that's what a logo is, or it's one of these things that ideally immediately recognizable. And this is just worth wondering. So if you're going to be the brand, is that what you want to be? A metal implement that's heated up and burns other people in a mark of ownership? I'm not actually making a case one way or the other, but I'm just inviting us to wonder about this. Or do you want to be, it could be this, the personal branding. This is one way I could get behind it. It could be that life has branded you in a certain way. That life, with all of its, vagaries and cruelties and unfairness, has put a mark on you, that you were hurt or traumatized or wounded in some way, and you still have the mark of that. There's the story of in the Odyssey, Odysseus comes home and he visits this old shepherd. I think his name is Mentor. But Odysseus is disguised. It's been a long time since he's been there anyways. But he's recognized by a scar on his leg that he got from boar hunting. So it could be that. And so then personal branding would just be revealing the marks that you have on you. And you say, look, life has marked me in this way. Life has branded me in this way. And I'm just not going to hide that anymore. So this connects to this notion that your deepest wound is often a doorway to your truest niche. The places you've struggled and been hurt the most, things you've had to work hardest to overcome, those are often a way into your niche. And I define niche as the role that your role in the community, or if from a marketing standpoint, the role that you want to be known for in the community. So that's a definition I could get behind. So it's complicated. I'm not trying to give a simple answer on this. I would just say, if your intention is to brand others, I'm wary of it. If your intention is to reveal the way you've been branded, yeah, I can get behind that. And that's a beautiful thing, because then that shows up in your bio. It shows up in your website. There's an immense amount of credibility, because you can say, hey, I've been marked by life in the same way. And so then there is a genuine affiliation. There's a kind of sense of community with people you've never met, because you all got marked identically, or similar enough that it's recognizable to each other. This often happens, I see it, where people who've gone through certain troubles can recognize other people who've gone through those troubles, even though the person never talks about it. A friend of mine who was abused pretty brutally as a child was reading a book by another author, and I told him that author had been abused as a child, and he said, I knew it. I could feel it. I knew it. So there's this. So we're not valorizing the brand, the way that life has marked us, but we're acknowledging it, sharing it, and inviting people to come together around that and around doing something with it. Could be that. So these are some thoughts on personal branding. I'd love to hear yours. I'm back home. Take care.